Good evening, everybody. It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. We get to make our hump day jokes. My goodness, I've been doing that all day today. And you're one day closer to the weekend. But more importantly, or should I say most importantly, it's time for Tavern Talk, the show where we like to make hot takes and bad takes alike, sometimes in the same sentence and usually multiple times within the evening. I'm, of course, one of your hosts, J.R. Juggerlaw, and we've got a fantastic show for you tonight. A rather condensed show, but a fun one all the same. But of course, I cannot do the show alone. That's why I've got three lovely guest hosts to join me tonight and get the shenanigans a-going. First off, he's the guy who's been OPing the show from the beginning. He is definitely not a doctor, but I have argued many times he is part fish. Say hello to Dr. Fish.
Hello, everyone. Man. We are here. 2 finals are upon us, and I'm ready.
I was hoping you'd say something like, we are here, we're near, and we're dear to all of you.
That too.
Yeah,
I
right.
like it.
And of course, my other major co-host, he's a man who, as I've said repeatedly, I have made references to him being a flower, as well as an element on the periodic table. Say hello to Geranium Battle.
Hello, I have a sincere fear to hear your clear spear of verbosity. I don't know. Anyways.
Honestly, that was pretty good on the spot.
This is a pretty exciting week. We've got still an undefeated Justin team in a 6-set season. That's weird. Never happened before. So, gonna have some interesting predictions because of that.
I think we're going to have some very hot takes tonight, that's for sure. And we've got ourselves a very special guest host tonight. We wanted to add to our usual group. And yes, you did see this person last week, but we figured he was so awesome. Why not bring him back for another consecutive week? Please say hello to Roadrunner.
Meep in the Jeep with the sheep, and this is just getting worse and worse as I go on, so I'm just gonna end it there.
You know, you're trying though. We like that. We like the effort.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, we do have ourselves a fantastic show for you guys tonight. Now, obviously, for those who have not been paying attention, I'm going to assume all of you have been paying attention. We are deep into playoffs right now. 2 of the 3 standard series are going to be ending their seasons after this week. And the other series, that being Legacy, is in its semifinal stage. So we have 4 matches we are covering tonight. And next week, we're only going to have 1. So some pretty shortened shows, but we're going to try to keep things fun and engaging throughout. And obviously, we're going to be getting into the same order. So without much preambles, we'll get right to talking about Hero Series, or as I said, the Hero Series Finals. So last week we had 2 big semifinals matches that we talked about. We had the APM mirror match where APM Yang barely took it over APM Yin. Yes, F's in the chat for my team, please. That would be greatly appreciated. And then we had at Diamond taking down F2L Black. So we find ourselves with 2 very different teams coming into the Hero Series Finals. We've got at Diamond who have been pretty dominant. Throughout the season with only 2 losses throughout. And then we've got APM Yang who've been, so that they're a team that have, obviously only a 6-5 record, but they've been bringing it home in playoffs when it's most important. Geranium, I'm always sad. You know that. Let's be honest. So what are you guys' immediate thoughts on this match, looking at the specific matchups for this Hero Series Finals?
Hey, that 2-3-4 from at Diamond just looks so stacked, and I think it's just mainly with how APM Yang their 2-3-4 has really just blown up at the end of the season here. Just the caliber of wins that the 2-3-4 of APM Yang has had to get in playoffs. They could take it. They could take any one of these sets here. Jammies over Turtle, KSW over Wild9, Wildfire over Diamond. But at Diamond during the main season event has been so dominant that it's hard to root against them. And then up in the 1 and down in the 5 is, I would say, much more of an even comparison. Where Justin doesn't have as many weeks because he subbed out a few times due to hand injuries. And then, Super Buckles has had a late surge here to get some wins in playoffs and really get some points for his team. So I'm going to give it to at Diamond just for that 2-3-4. But I think APM Yang is a little bit favored in the 1 and 5. Right. And that means they only need to swing one of those 3 in the middle.
Right. I mean, the thing that's interesting about a finals in any series is that both of the teams going into it always have at least some degree of momentum on their side. And while at Diamond has had more momentum on their side as far as throughout the course of the season, you can obviously point out the fact that APM Yang has really has had some clutch wins when they really needed them most over these last 2 weeks, and that's really what's helped get them here. So they're definitely good at performing under pressure, and we can definitely see a major upset, considering we've already seen, 2 major upsets, I'd say, that led them to get to this point. So at Diamond just seems like another team they can upset when you look at it. What about the rest of you?
It's interesting because I have to look at it because being that I played against Diamonds, our team went against a Diamond last week. Really the players who got it done for them last week were only one of the players that Geranium has really pointed out is that 2-3-4. That was Diamond. Diamond, out of the 2, 3, and 4, the other 2 of them lost, including a sweep from Itachi over Wild9. So Justin and Buckles getting wins last week, absolutely huge for them. So I don't know. I don't think the 1 seed is that favored for APM Yang either, because Justin's an excellent player, and we'll see. I mean, I think that I don't even think that the 5 seed's that much that different. I mean, the skill level and experience is a lot more favored for Nomad Farmer, but I don't know. Buckles seems to be a super solid player, and he's learning every week, and he's been able to get points, even in a couple of wins in here. I mean, I guess I didn't really get to. I mean, I played Nomad Farmer in the regular season, and we had a super close series. I think Diamond's team does look pretty favored. I think it's gonna be pretty close. I don't know who's I think I want to see Diamond's team win because they took our team out last week, and it was an exceptionally close series. It came down to the point where if I had gotten even a 2-3 loss, we would have won the week. It was that close. And so I think Diamond's team will get it done some in some capacity. Diamond's like a 2 seed sitting in the 4 seed, which is kind of gross. So
yeah, I won't disagree with that.
But yeah, seeing my legacy teammate get a hero title would be pretty cool. For sure. So I think I'm rooting more for Diamond, but if APM Yang wins, that'll be I think either way it's going to be an excellent finals. Really good stuff. Just really good stuff in this match. Like, I think Genji versus Justin to me is like such a big match. I'm actually very happy we're going to get that one on stream. So far all I know is we're going to have the top 2 matches on stream, and obviously at the end of the show I'll give the rundown on when they're actually happening, but I'm happy we're gonna have Jammies versus Turtles and Justin versus Genji on stream this weekend. So it's awesome.
Yeah. Now I will note that the pressure is obviously a lot less in the main season, so perhaps people weren't performing, and perhaps they didn't understand the meta as well as they do now.
Sure.
But APM Yang did fight at Diamond during the main season in week 3. There was a cross conference.
Yeah, APM Yang actually won.
APM Yang won 13-11. That was Genji winning over Justin, Jammies over Turtle, and Yfair actually facing Super Buckles and sweeping. To get that.
Thank you, Bone Master, for that. So
yeah,
in
they definitely had
yeah,
some
so
big wins throughout the season.
Yeah, I knew that. So Justin's match is going to be, and so the last 2 matches are Sunday. Okay.
Sunday,
and Saturday.
That too. But yeah, I feel like this match is like I will fully acknowledge my bias, towards APM Yang winning because APM all the way. We lost to them in the finals. But if I'm also being honest, I really do think this is just this is far from being a one-sided matchup because I feel like there's a valid argument just to both teams winning. Because I think Gerania made some very good points about the core of the 2-3-4 for at Diamond being incredibly strong and incredibly consistent. But it also feels like APM Yang has shown they can defeat pretty much any team. So maybe this is the week where they just continue to show that dominance and their ability to upset other players, other teams. It's like that's at least what I'm getting at the moment. So based on that, I feel like the only match I honestly feel relatively comfortable calling is the Turtle versus Jammies. Not because of anything against Jammies. I think he's a fantastic player. I've always said that I think Turtle is just an insane Hero Series player, and him being in the 2 is absolutely ridiculous. So, but other than that, I feel like, Genji take down Justin. KSW could definitely take down Wild 9 despite the PR and record difference. And Super Buckles could also pull off an upset here, We did see that he's gotten a couple big wins. Like, both of his wins this season have been pretty momentous and significant. So I could see that happening here. I mean, a lot of different things can happen here. It's gonna be just, we'll have to kind of see how each match breaks down, and go from there.
All right. I guess it's time for me to give my input here. So yeah, taking a look at this match, I really think that as Geranium and Fish and JR have all pointed out, this is a very close match. I think that it's very easy to call it either way, because both teams are so strong. And yeah, so I think JR, I think in addition to calling Turtle versus Jammies, I think I would also say Diamond would win against Yfair. Just because, I mean, I think Fish kind of pointed out, like, Diamond was, a 2 seed in the 4, or maybe more like a 3 seed in the 4. I don't know, and that's still like ridiculously strong. And so I think, and I know that like I played Yfair earlier this season. I'm not sure if it was for Legacy or Hero, but I think it might have been for Hero. And but yeah, Yfair swept me, I think. So, there is that chance that I'm wrong. So, but anyway, so I think Turtle and Diamond will get the wins. I think Justin will also get the win. But I think KSW and Nomad Farmer will get the wins for APM Yang. That does put Diamond with the match win, though. So, yeah.
I mean, I will say, I think Diamond does have a good shot. He's definitely favored in that matchup. But I guess also knowing Yfair, knowing how he prepared this season, I do feel like the PR vastly underrates his actual skill and performance. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, it's. I mean, it's tough because again, I think like that core is very strong, but on the flip side of it, I could easily see at least one of these matchups being an upset. It's just a question of who brings the right lineup, who plays the optimally, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say, given the order, last thought for me on this, given the order that Bone Master put in the chat here, and I really don't want to cast or curse this, but KSW is the only one of the core three, the 2, 3, 4, that is playing before the final two matches. And given the wins that KSW has gotten recently, I feel like he's actually in a somewhat prime position to take it, which means that with my prediction of Genji beating Justin, Nomad beating Super Buckles, that might mean it's a 3-set match. Now, obviously, that's probably not going to happen. We're probably going to see all 5 matches, but it could happen just because the 4 and the 2 that we've been saying are so cracked are right at the end.
I mean, I will say, Geranium, you do make a good point there, especially because KSW, as you said, he was 3-6 going into playoffs, and now he's 5-6. So yeah, that was a big win too. So I think like at this point, like this team for the most part has quite a bit of momentum, but KSW is the only one on the team who has won both of the last 2 weeks. So hard to say how much.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm trying to think, is there anything else we can add?
I think we're good. I think this match has been thoroughly covered. I'm very excited to see what happens. And from one finals, we move to our other finals, which is going to be Pro Series. We had we have Brushy Tuna versus For the Boys, and this match, oh boy, I am excited for this one.
Me too.
Obviously, we see that there's a result on the board already, and since this isn't regular season, this can definitely mean quite a bit more. Where a sweep early in playoffs can definitely be a bit rough for the other team. I don't think it's as cut and dry as For the Boys takes this sweep. They're just gonna win the series.
I feel like this is also a good time to mention that Diamond not only is in both of these finals matches, even if he's only a captain for the Boys, but he now has the chance to become the first player in THL history to get 2 championships in the same season twice. That might be a cast or curse, but gosh darn, I don't give a damn.
Yeah. So so the matches that we have left are McBannerface versus Super Chicken, Ron Mexico versus Dabs, Lotus Knight versus German Shep, and Based Ink versus Dardar Banks. And boy, these are some super interesting matchups. Diamond's right. Being a winning captain in 3 different series. I don't know. That's true. I don't know if that's. I don't know the history of captains winning in multiple series, so I couldn't tell you. Unfortunately, I'm guessing that not a lot of people have won in all 3 series.
I'm trying to think. Not really.
I don't think it's probably happened, especially because Pro is still relatively new.
Well, it's not just that; it's also most of the teams that have won in Pro have been captained by players
who don't play the other series.
Well, that
sometimes.
or I can say definitively don't have a championship in the other series.
Gotcha. Yeah, but these are some very good matches. I Banter versus Chicken. That one's potentially on stream. We don't have full confirmation yet.
Hilariously, it's going to depend on how McBannerface does in GM this week, which,
Yes,
good for him, but also I can't help but find it funny.
for sure.
Yeah.
Ron
Awesome.
Mexico versus our very own Bobby Dabs in the chat. That's a very even matchup.
Dabs.
I'm super excited. That match is really awesome. Ron, I know last week Ron clinched the match for Brushy Tuna over over NPH, and winning against who I think is was your Mumked. I believe that went 5 games, and Ron came out on top, which sealed it. Maybe it was somebody else. Maybe Ron and Lotus switched seeds. I don't know, but that's a super good match. Lotus versus Shep. If Shep brings Prester Druid, he's in trouble. Please don't bring Prester Druid that deck. I mean, he's good at it, and he can play it at top 100 Legend. I can't play it. It just seems really high roller. I'm sure he won't. But Lotus Knight.
I can't wrap my head around it, honestly.
Lotus Knight, another excellent player. I've had the privilege to be on a team with him in Legacy before. Yeah. And obviously our hat unfortunately getting swept by Jake Weiss. A really good win for Jake Weiss to get that.
I hate seeing Hat lose though, so
I'm definitely sad as well. It's difficult because I have inherent biases towards both of these teams. There's 2 AFG members. There's Lotus, who I've teamed with. There's Arhat, who's just an excellent and amazing human being, and then there's For the Boys, who I've always rooted for. Chicken, Shep, Diamond, Chicken, Shep, Dabs. Like I don't know too much about Jake Weiss. I know he's a very good player. I saw him on stream during the MT. That was really fun. Dardar Banks is also an insane player. So it's kind of funny. I came in like really wanting to just root for one team and just be like, I want to be the guy who says that, oh, my root, like this is a team that's gonna win, like because I want them to win. But this one's I think just looking at it, man, Chicken's on a hot streak, and I really want to see it. I really would. It would be I would be so excited to get to see that match.
Same here.
No, I think if Brushy Tuna wins this series, it has to be in 5 because of the sweep.
Yeah.
I just the more and more I look at it, the more I think that it's so I think like I think For the Boys is just I'm rooting for Brushy Tuna, but I think For the Boys is gonna win. If For the Boys wins, it's probably not gonna go all 5. It also depends on the order of matches. Obviously, we see one sweep here. So I don't know.
Okay.
It's tough.
Okay.
Yeah. In this case, there's a lot of factors going into this match. Both of these teams only have 1 loss in this season. Brushy Tuna is 9-1. For the Boys 8-1-1. Brushy Tuna's 1 loss is to For the Boys. When they lost to For the Boys, McBannerface lost. Ron Mexico lost. Ridiculous Hat lost. Base Think lost. All in the same matchups. None of the players are facing different players. The only way to win was Lotus Knight over German Shep. And as one teammate put it, the big dog is here and Pink series is his yard. Pink be wary, the Shep is scary. I think I will also quote another person from For the Boys squad saying, "I always like your takes, Max. Play both sides, but not in a boring way." Yeah, so I'm not going to play both sides. For the Boys is going to win 5-0. That's my prediction. It starts with Jake taking our hat, and it continues from there. Yeah.
I mean, it's. Let me ask you this, Geranium. What week did that match take place?
That was the final week of the regular season.
Final
Okay.
week.
That was how for the boys took the number one spot and took the number one in conference spot because they took a big win over Brushy Tuna.
My memory is not working for me right now, but I just want to confirm, was that before or after the mini expansion released?
After.
That was that was before, probably. Maybe?
No,
was it the week of?
it was the week of.
Oh, it was the week of. Okay.
Okay. So the meta has shifted a bit, but not all that much. So it is fair to say that this could end up going similarly if they kind of bring a lot of the same stuff they brought last time around. But really, so much can change in rematches that, you know, even when it's the same opponents, who knows, it'll go the same way in any way, shape, or form. I feel like, you know, it's tough because much like the Hero Series Championship, I'd be happy with either of these teams winning.
Oh, for sure.
I just don't have any kind of stake in the winner of this one compared to Hero Series. So, oh man, God, both these teams are so deserving of a championship. But I am just going to kind of go with, for the boys, having that early edge and the fact that they won previously in what was a pretty similar meta to what they're playing in now. So I'm going to say Super Chicken beats McBannerface. I think Ron beats Dabs. Lotus Knight beats German Shep. Jack Weiss, of course, already beat Ridiculous Hat. And I think Dardar Binks beats Based Inc. for the 3-2 for the boys. Diamond is going to get at least one championship this.
All right, I guess I'm up. So, yeah, again, super close match. Gonna have to disagree with Geranium here and say that I don't know. I don't think it's gonna go 5-0. I don't know. I think it's gonna be closer than that. If it's especially considering that like it's a playoff match. And, yeah. So I think it'll be 4-1 or 3-2. But yeah, I think that it would be really cool to watch the Super Chicken McBannerface match for sure. I'm looking forward to that. Also, the Dabs versus Raw Mexico match, that'll be interesting as well. I mean, actually, no. All of these matches are just so cool because they're pretty even. Like it could go either way, but yeah. So let's see. I think Super Chicken will take it over Banner. I think Dabs will take it over Ron. I think Lotus will take it over Shep. And I think Based will take it over Dardar for the 3-2 for the boys.
I was actually wrong. This is for the boys, so it's going to be 4-1. There we are. Done.
Well played. Well played.
Mic drop. Right, that's a mic drop moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm done.
Oh, Geranium, you will never stop being entertaining. In a good way, you know?
Well,
I can only hope to entertain as we possibly wrap up Pro and go into the break, but who has more options? Who has more vote?
I don't know. I mean, Brushy Tuna. It feels like every season Brushy Tuna gets closer and closer to winning the whole thing. They got knocked out in round 1 their first season. They made semifinals last season, and now they're in finals. So hopefully, it's like I think. I don't know. I mean, I still see a world in which they can still get there. It depends I see a world in which Brushy Tuna can get there. It just looks It just looks bad because they're down 4-0. So we'll see. I don't have anything really else to add to this. I think it's a good time to go to our commercial break while we set up for our final 2 matches.
And one of you guys definitely has my back, right? On the whole what is Twitch Prime? Because thank you so much for tuning in to Tavern. If you're enjoying our show, make sure you check out Around the Saloon and the Maniacal Tournament series on Mondays. Definitely still happening on Mondays. And Rubber Ronnie Chicken on Tar Center, and something that you'll never guess. Perhaps you're looking for the Missing 4 series, a wild look into the Wild Wild West with Wild and Out. Are you still asking, where's my content? Or are you streaming THL matches each night from Thursday to Sunday, starting at 8 or 9 p.m. Eastern? All you mascots are determined by cast and player availability. Side effects mingle with knowledge and fun. Wait, that's not all. We also have incredible matches on weekend afternoons on school stuff. Precise time today is subject to availability. Speaking of which, please consider subscribing to our Twitch channel. This subscription enables the THL team to help cover the various costs of our operating a website and improve the quality of our streams and content to our viewers. And you see someone ask me in our chat, what is Twitch Prime? You guys definitely have yeah, thank you, JR. Okay. Well, if you have Amazon Prime or Prime Gaming, you sub the channel for free. Scroll down right below that stream, hit that purple box, scroll down a little bit more, and you'll see right near the bottom there a little option to subscribe for free with Twitch Prime. So hit that heart button and keep the notifications on to make sure you catch our team streams live. We appreciate each and every one of you. Especially note to our viewers, check out THL's other social media points of interest. Website is at teamhearthleague.com. Follow us on Twitter at THL_HS. Join us on Discord at Team Hearth League. And the THL POW podcast is done for the season, but may continue next season once the playoffs are over.
You know, I gotta say, I used to doing the wow, why am I blanking on the name of this? The commercial break. But ever since Geranium started doing it and started doing it so fast, it's like, man, I just want to leave it to him because I can't do it any better.
Yeah.
Like that's just
it
the point.
It did sound awesome. Yeah. It sounded pretty cool.
All right. Well, y'all ready? We're leaving finals because now we have semifinals. We've got 2 legacy matches to talk about. Rest in peace to Gold Conference. I am a very sad boy. But we have exciting things to talk about. We have first matchup from Silver Conference. Cooler versus APM. I don't know which people haven't talked about matches. I'm sure somebody does. Oh, go ahead.
All I will say is F's in the chat for no Gold Conference representation.
Yes.
Just throwing that out there. Yeah, we got ourselves a pretty good one here. It's actually funny because not only is Gold not being represented, but damn it, Bone Masher, it was not free. Stop that.
No.
Gold was free.
Gold was rolled. No, Gold was rolled.
Gold was rolled and free.
It was not free, Geranium. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Please.
But it is kind of funny how that not only is Gold out of it, but also the semifinals matches are Silver versus Silver and Red versus Red. So we're going to have 2 conferences represented in the finals, one way or the other. This is, of course, the Red Series match, which is the Cooler versus All Points Matter. The Cooler, as we see, Icer taking a big win against Mako, which, I mean, neither of these guys should be in the 4 seeds. This is a pretty big clash as is. And wait, is this the Silver Series match? Oh, sorry. Yes. This is the Silver. Thank you, Bone Mash. Right. This is the Silver Series. Getting the conferences all mixed up. Yeah. So that is 1 match down. We have 4 other matches that, of course, being Seabeak 1 versus obviously Superhero versus Cheesy 10, Bremen versus the Chosen Pie, and T Skillet subbing in for Snipe Hunter versus Laughing Frog. It should be noted that this is in fact a permanent sub for Snipe Hunter. Just so everybody is clear. So, I mean, I definitely want to cheer for APM here, but I also got to give it up for Icer for bringing in a very strong team, having a very strong performance throughout the season. Bone Mash, of course, coming in with a very strong team and just barely edging out that bye going into the end of the season. So his team only had to play one match to get to this point as opposed to two. But this is I haven't actually checked to see who won when these teams previously faced each other. Something tells me it could easily have been either, but it was APM. Okay. And I also think if I remember correctly, the matchups probably would have been slightly different. I think the 2 and the 3 would have been in different.
I think that these were almost the exact same matchups we had. Maybe Superhero and maybe
Superhero and Bremen.
I think maybe Bremen and Icer were switched. But I think Superhero was up in the 2 by that point. This was that was only 3 weeks ago, and I don't think the Coolers had any seeding changes in playoffs. So maybe going into them they got changes. I mean, big changes that they have, that their 5 seed had to be subbed out for the week. So I think APM's just gonna. I think APM's just gonna take this one. Avi, Cheesy, Laughing Frog, Pie versus Bremen's pretty close. I think top 2 and 5 take it and they advance.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. I think also that even though I'm sure T-Skillet is a solid player, having to come in and just
immediately go up against probably one of the strongest 50 PR5 seeds, Laughing Frog.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think
I'm gonna say that this is gonna be. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 3-2. I think Bremen is gonna get the win over the Chosen Pie, but I think between obviously Cheesy and Laughing Frog, it's definitely gonna be an APM win, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think this is how APM versus Agent P happened last season, didn't it? Where the 4 got a very early win against APM, and then there are 3 matches won, and then a big ol' sweep in the 1. Gotta say it, Bone Masher. It's starting. Hey. But yeah, I mean, Icer over 2-star Mako was maybe the Icer stole from me my easy prediction here of Icer swapping down from the 2 to the 4 and then getting a win. But I do think that the Cooler is favored here. I mean, they were favored in week 2 when they won over APM. It was a 13-11 win, of course. But
okay, I got my weeks messed up. APM took a big win in their last week to get the bye.
It's a big hit that T-Skillet is untested here, and is going up against Laughing Frog, who's insane in the 5. But I feel like Laughing Frog wasn't that much of an outside force there. I mean, with Snipe Hunter taking a bunch of DQs, unfortunately, I do think Laughing Frog was maybe one of the more assured points Points Matter had. And then, I just think the Cooler is favored in some of the other seeds here. Bremen did lose to the Chosen Pie last time, but I think that will change. And I think we're going to see, the Cooler in finals.
I do like the fact that we are, we're taking different approaches. We're not all agreeing on the same thing. And I think that's pretty fair considering how close these teams are in skill and overall performance this season. So I think this is definitely going to be close one way or the other. I was going to say, Roadrunner, I don't think you gave your feedback yet, right?
Yeah, not yet.
Okay.
I was just, if it seems like I was intently focusing on the screen here, I was just trying to pull up when exactly the Cooler and All Points Matter faced each other last, and that was in week 2 of the Silver Conference. And so the Cooler did take the win when they last faced each other back in week 2. And actually, the singular difference of the seeding of the players here is that Icer and Superhero are switched, as I think Deesh might have pointed out earlier.
Oh,
so
well, yeah. I mean, I had wrong presumptions about where people were, anyways. Like at that point.
It's okay. Anyway, but yeah, like Icer and Superhero were switched at that point. Icer was the 2 seed and Superhero was the 4. But now, now things have flip-flopped a little bit, and Icer was able to get the win on 2-star Mako. As for the rest of the matches, the Cooler just has a super strong 1, 2, and 3 seed. And I guess the question is, I mean, they've been doing well all season, but APM also has a super strong 1, 2, 3. So who will triumph in the end is the question. I think obviously Cheesy 10 and Laughing Frog will all get wins for APM. And I think Bremen will get the win additionally for the Cooler, but I think that'll put APM in the finals here. And also, I am slightly biased. I don't know if people know yet, but I will be joining APM Legacy next season, so I am a little bit biased.
Announcement that can be tainted.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Watch out, everybody.
That's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see if it works out.
Great movie.
I'm the only person defending the Cooler. I'm the person who defended the Cooler all throughout the podcast. Seems the same.
Yeah, I mean this one is, we've got some interesting storylines when it comes to Legacy and how we got to this point. And Silver Conference, like we talked about, was easily the closest conference of all the three conferences. It was the one conference where we had really no idea who was going to end up getting that bye going into the very and there wasn't any team that really stood out as being so much above all the others. So when we say like these teams are really close and it's a very close matchup, I don't think that can be overstated. So, one way or another, we're going to have ourselves a pretty sweet final Legacy Finals, if I do say so myself.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So.
Right. So, we have one more match left to go. We head from Silver Conference to Red Conference with Just Win versus F2L White. Just barely winning last week against I believe it was Chaos Theory.
Yep.
So,
the 2 teams in Red Conference, also the 2 teams from Red Conference that also had byes going into playoffs. And fun fact, 3 out of the 4 teams that had byes are in the semifinals right now. The only missing team, of course, being Clownstone Academy. F's in the chat.
Also, fun fact, of the remaining teams, there is guaranteed to be 1 red and 1 silver in the finals.
Yes.
Instead of having, like what happened in Pro a season ago, where it was all from one conference.
Oh yeah, all from the same conference. Yeah, this season, even this season, the finals is
right. It's like I mentioned before. It's red versus red and silver versus silver.
Yeah, it's really cool.
We know how it's gonna work out.
This match in the regular season was very Just Win favored. There is a little bit of seeding difference, though. Probably, I think, where I believe Mianodon would have been the 1 seed against Just Win.
That's
and
right.
Maybe I don't know when Slot and Anfall switched seeds, so maybe that was also switched.
I'm looking at it right now, and actually they must have switched back because Slot and Infall are in the same positions as they were.
They just never changed seeds. So
well,
yeah, Slot just kept winning. So yeah, I think this match is a lot different than it. I think this match is going to go differently than last time. And I think it comes down to the fact that I think Justin has to play Rebob now, which, I mean, Mianodon's had such a poor down season. I think having Rebob to go up against Justin helps F2L White a lot. I mean, it's either going to be a big help or, I mean, it could be a hindrance depending on obviously who wins that. But I think it's such an interesting set of matches: Justin versus Rebob, Infinite versus Mianodon, Wild Rose versus Slod, Pokemon 661 versus Onfall, and Skirt Reynolds versus Totino's Pizza down in the 5. Yeah, there's so many great matchups here.
I'll be honest. Continue. Sorry.
I think F2L I think F2L gets this one. I think F2L gets this one. Diamond always says Fish not picking 3-2. What a shocker! But I actually think that this match is close enough to deem a 3-2 in playoffs. I think
bold move, Fish. Bold move.
I think Rebob in the 1, Infinite in the 2, Slod in the 3. I think Onfall can be Pokemon in the 4, and Skirt in the 5. Yeah, I really like. I think. I think it goes F2L White's way, and Mianodon versus Infinite's not even like. That's a pretty even. It's a pretty good match, and I mean, Mianodon's had a rough season. I can still see him getting a win. I think he got one last week. I don't remember his record from the last time, but I believe he won last week. So I don't know. I mean, maybe Mianodon gets the win and ends up with Pokemon getting the win. But either way, I think F2L White going to the finals, breaking semifinals, F2L Standard Series curse. Because we all know their wild team's insane.
Mianodon did win in the 2 last week against Classy Thug.
Yeah.
Who has a worse record than Infinite does. Maybe partially because of that loss there. But I think Infinite's been picking it up recently. I also think Justin has been really picking it up recently. A lot earlier, we talked about, in previous Tavern Talk episodes, we talked about how powerful J-Rich was because J-Rich started 0-3 and then didn't stop winning from then on. Justin started 0-3 as well. So he is 7-0 for 7 weeks.
Okay.
And in fact, he is looking at all of his all of his records over the past few weeks. He is 14-1 over every series. He is absolutely killing everything, and I think that will include Rebob. So Rebob's 9-1 means he can lose, and I think that will happen this time. Infinite versus Mianodon, I think, is actually very close. Though, I think if Infinite, if Infinite puts his focus into it, I think I'm actually going to back him over Mianodon here, despite the fact that he was one of the matches that lost the previous time Just Win faced off. And then meanwhile, the rest of the matchups, Wild Rose beat Slod last time, Pokemon beat Onfall last time, Skirt beat Totinos last time. I don't think it's out of the question for any of those to happen again. I think the one that will reverse here is going to be Slod over Wild Rose. But I think it's going to be a all 5 matches played out 4-1 for Just Win.
I like that. I was very curious to hear both of your opinions before I went online, because the thing that I'm not sure of is, do I bet based on who has the better record? Is there other factors I really need to take into account? Because something like with the Justin versus Rebobson situation is pretty noteworthy.
Well, we have the classes there. I did take classes into account when I looked at it, and I think I like Rebob's classes a little more.
See, I'm torn because I don't think I like his classes more, if I'm being quite honest. Because even though I love the Druid, the Demon Hunter, and the Hunter brings, I don't love the Warlock bring. And I don't love that he didn't bring Shaman. I really am.
I mean, I feel like the fact that he has Warlock and Justin has Shaman, it can definitely be is definitely a decent thing for him.
Of course, definitely.
I think I don't. Yeah.
But this is also Legacy, where I feel like Shaman is just so versatile, and you're rarely going to struggle to get like a win with it. Whereas I feel like Warlock you can really be in a tough spot with that. So, I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not saying it can't happen. It's just personally, I can't see myself not bringing both Druid and Shaman right now. So that's just something I'm kind of looking at and factoring in. But either way, I do think it's very close in terms of the overall matchups. Really, I think the match that's going to decide this is the 2-seed one, because it's 2 players very close in PR with the same exact records. I just think that one is going to be the deciding factor, because I do think that, I do think a lot of these matches are just very close, too close to call. I do think that, like, every time I think I know where a matchup is likely, it's like I kind of am with Geranium. You could definitely see an upset here. So I think Just Win is going to take it, but just barely. I'm going to say Justin, Infinite, and Pokemon are going to take wins, but I think Slad and Totinos are going to win their matches. So I think it's going to be a close 3-2, but definitely like I feel like any of these matches could go either way. I could be wrong about all 5 of these matches, and I will not be surprised.
I will say, F208 did fight Just Win last season in playoffs and did beat them. So precedent is F208 favored, but this Just Win feels like a very different Just Win.
Well, both teams are a bit different.
Yeah.
All right. Guess I'm closing us off.
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see the Captain v Captain Justin v Revob match. That's going to be really exciting, and we already are able to see the classes submitted. I do feel better about Justin's. I also feel, Justin's a great player and Rebob is amazing. They're both such good players. I think Justin will take the win, though, just because of these classes that we can see here. So I think Justin gets the win there. I think maybe Mianodon will come back, maybe take the win for F2L White. Then I think Slad will also take the win. And then I think Pokemon 661 and Skirt Reynolds will take the wins for Just Win. And that'll be a 3-2 for Just Win. That is what I predict. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that seems like we're all mostly in agreement that this is going to be close. So definitely not far off from what we're all from the sentiments we're all sharing and the predictions we're all making. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else we want to add here? I feel like we've covered.
Yeah, we've done a good job.
I mean,
yeah.
I'll just I'll say the thing that I sort of started off the show with. Once again, I will note that Justin is on an undefeated team in a 6-set meta. Just like exactly 1 year ago, when Foolish Madmen was just undefeated.
I mean, this is
I
apples and
thought that
oranges.
was
This is
2
apples
seasons
and
ago.
oranges and teams. No, that
True.
was during Dark Moon meta.
Right.
But
So-
I mean, these are just just different players. So I mean, yeah, that wasn't. I mean, Justin was on that team. This feels like Justin's team. I mean, both teams really good.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, all 5 player. Like, I think, yeah.
But it
We'll
does
see.
kind of feel similar in a way, because like Foolish Madman team that felt like it had no business being allowed to exist with a PR limit. And Just Win kind of feels in a similar way. But I don't think it's exactly the same, but I don't necessarily think it's apples and oranges either.
I guess.
Obviously, though, the fact that happened last season doesn't mean it's going to happen again by imagination. But, you know, I think it is cool that we have 2 teams from the exact same conference that also happen to be 2 teams that both had buys in the first round of playoffs. They're going to be really putting on a show for us.
For sure.
We got 4 big matches, all of which the results are going to be exciting. Just a question of what we'll be talking about next week in terms of the winners.
Yeah, so next week's show will be slightly different than this show. We're going to have an interview with the Hero Series champions, as well as covering the Legacy Finals match. We'll do the interview first, probably, unless the players unless the scheduling works out better the other way around.
Yep.
But so yeah, that'll be how next week goes. I'm gonna bring us back to the main screen. So this concludes another episode of Tavern Talk. We do have some matches that I know are going to be streamed at this point.
Yeah, we do.
So Thursday, I don't have anything for Thursday. I don't believe anything's confirmed for Friday. Salty Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Always just in time versus Genji in Hero Finals. Nothing for School Stone so far for either day. Sunday Showdown. We have potentially 8 p.m. Eastern Pro Finals. Super Chicken versus McBannerface.
Right.
That'll depend on how McBannerface does at GM.
Basically, if he doesn't make it to Sunday, then he's going to play.
Yeah.
That's basically what it goes down to.
And then 9 p.m. Eastern, Hero Series, Jammies versus Turtles. Jammies versus Turtle in the Hero Finals will be Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm sure we'll get... I don't have any casters confirmed for any of the things. I'm sure Mianodon will cast on Sunday with somebody. I don't know. Maybe it's Dollar Bills this time. Maybe it'll be somebody else. Saturday, have no confirmed casters yet. So if you want to cast, then you can message me, because I'll be opting that, since Wild9 has a commitment up until a little bit later than that match. So yeah, there you go. That's all. That's what we got on the docket for the week. If y'all are playing, Thursday night, 8, 9, or 10, and we can also work around, especially with the fact that it's playoffs. There's very little matches. We can work around with like start times potentially. But besides Yeah, but once we have a set match there, it probably has to alter all the times, but we'll see. Thursday tomorrow we'll have Wild and Out coverage of the final week of the season and talking about playoffs. That'll be super interesting. So that'll be Marty B and guests. If we have enough guests, then I won't be really talking on the show. I'll just be opping, but otherwise I will be an active participant. So we'll see.
Yeah. We have very few matches to be streamed here because it's finals of a lot of different series, but the few matches we do have are so cracked.
Yeah, they're really good matches.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for Salty Saturdays. Justin versus Genji.
That's going to be hype.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, since we only have a total of 20 matches taking place this week, depending on availability.
Throughout the standard series,
Right, or interest in streaming, or interest in being on stream, excuse me. We may have a tough time actually filling those spots, but just like a heads up, if you have a match going on this week, please, we encourage you to try to play on stream, assuming it happens to work within that time frame. We want to get as many matches as we can. Given how close we are, once we get to the finals, actually, we try to have every match on stream, unless that's
it's played on an off time,
right. Unless it's a situation that's just unavoidable, we get that. So if you need any assistance, kind of figuring that out, feel free to respective members of THL who run those streams. So keep that in mind.
For sure.
I think, is there anything that anyone would like to add before we sign off for tonight?
No, and just for looking for matches, that's not just standard. So WoW players, please, if you want to play on stream, reach out. We have a bunch of good, really fantastic WoW casters and other players who can cast who would love to get these matches on stream. So don't be shy if you're a WoW player and you want to get your match on stream. We're here for it.
Right. But thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. Like we said, we're champions next week, and we will have one match that will be that being the Legacy Series Finals, which we will devote a decent amount of time to discussing. Thank you so much to my always lovely co-host, Dr. Uranium Battle, and thank you once again to our special guest Roadrunner. Appreciate having you on. So. But yes, again, thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe, enjoy the rest of and your weekend, and we'll be sure to catch you next week, next Wednesday on Tavern Talk. See you later, guys.
Thanks, everyone.